Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today I have a Seagate 16 terabyte drive. Actually, I have two of them. And what I am going to be using them for, I'm actually going to be setting up my own internal RAID system. And what I mean by that is I had an issue with some other drives and another company, won't mention any names, but basically I had a RAID and the system failed. And what I noticed is that I could not recover the data off the RAID configuration. I ended up having to send it out, had to have them basically rescue my data for an extreme fee, and the RAID system should have been infallible, I guess is what I'm looking to say. So this was the next best thing, and what I mean by is infallible is that I should have been able to rescue my data without having to be at the mercy of another company to retrieve my data, the company that was safeguarding my data. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to design and make my own kind of RAID. Basically what I'm doing is, since I have two of these 16 terabyte Seagate drives, I'm basically going to have one as my mass storage, and then one is going to make, the second one is going to make a real-time copy of any files I put on this. So if this or the backup fails, I have easy access to it. And what I mean is it's going to be kind of a reliant on software-based backup system. However, if either of these drives fail, I can literally plug and play and put in a fresh drive, be able to read this data off my Windows PC. I don't have to take the RAID and send it somewhere for them to read my data, or use proprietary software that I just can't get access to because of the exorbitant expense and cost of that. However, this is a much more easier access for a regular person. And what I mean by that is very easy to take a 16 terabyte drive, and then you get something like a Inutech backup system. And what I mean is that is your cradle, and then you can plug this into your computer through a USB and power cable. So that is going to be your power cord, and then this is going to be your USB dock. And this will sit on your desktop or on your floor. Just make sure you don't kick it. And basically what you do is just plug and play. So you're plugging this in, and then you're plugging this USB port into your tower, and it will basically keep a backup of both of your drives. So software access. So what you're doing is you're taking your drive, and then you were looking for the docking port. So it's basically going to, from the overhead, if you look down, you basically just slide it in, and then it makes a connection. And then you hook up your power cord, you plug this into your PC, and then you have one, and then you have your second drive. And this makes life so much easier. I can't even begin to tell you. And all the hype behind RAIDs. RAIDs are great because they can keep all your information copied onto another drive or multiple drives, and then you can don't have to worry about a drive failure. But again, you're at the mercy of other companies. This configuration is going to basically put all the power in your hands, and if you have a drive failure, it's going to be plug and play. I mean, it's going to be that simple. And if you have a drive failure, you'll be able to easily access your information off the other drive. And again, it's software based, but so basically what we're doing is, so now we have basically both drives docked, and we're going to go into my recording studio on the other side, and I will show you exactly how to configure, format, and what software to use to gain access to information on both of these drives. Again, 16 terabyte Seagate This is a company I went with. I went with another company that had some big trouble, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just completely switch brands here and go with this. And this is going to make life so much easier. And again, like I said, we're going to have one drive as for bulk information, plug and play, easily plug it into any PC you have, and you'll be able to get the information off of it. Then we're going to have a second drive to back up all the information from the first drive, basically on-time sync. So the moment that any information on this drive changes, it will immediately go onto this drive and it will be protected. So if either drive fails, you have the information on one drive or the other to be able to replicate it, to access it. And if, let's say, this drive failed for whatever reason, you just go get another drive, you plug it in, and then you just clone these two drives, which you can actually do with a touch of a button on this device here. And then you'll make a backup copy of the drive that failed, and then you're back in business again. And with your syncing software, you'll be able to sync both drives the moment that any information changes on them, as well as you'll have instantaneous access to it if your drive fails. You don't have to send it out anywhere. You don't have to bring somebody in. You don't have to buy any expensive software or hardware or anything else. Everything is right here. You can do it yourself. So don't be at the mercy of other people. Take it upon yourself to secure your own data. Anyway, I'll also show you how to configure this on your network. So if you have a large network like I do at my house, a couple different buildings, I'm always running back and forth, recording things on different computers. You will be able to network the drive. The drive will be seen by any device, even Mac on a Windows network or Windows on a Mac network. You'll be able to see the drives, be able to access them anywhere on your own private network. So that is going to be another huge benefit to you and your data being secured and used by family members, or if you have a small business where you're networking around the office or on your site. You can do the exact same thing. Your data is secured behind your firewalls. It'll be secured on your network, so anybody in your network will have access to the files, file or files. So I'll show you how to set up one share file so information can go back and forth, and then I'll show you how you can share the entire drive if that's something that you want to do. Like in my case, this is family, it's a family business. I will have my family members have access to all the data on here. But again, you'll have a public drive as well for like employees or those family members that don't stop by that often that you want to share files with. Anyway, let's go inside to the other studio and we'll set everything up and I'll show you how to do it. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is kind of like my editing studio, and I have the two drives on my desktop, and basically I'm ready to power it up. I have it plugged in. I have the USB that I'm going to plug into the computer right now. So I'll just plug that into the front for now, and then we will turn this Initech drive dock on, and that is going to power up, and we are going to go to this PC. So that's going to show all the drives that I have listed, and then these should be recognized here any second. And if they're not recognized, we are going to actually show you how to format the drive, both of them. So it's acknowledging that it's reading A and B drive. So A is done, now it's reading B. So it's basically hooking it up to the computer. I'll give it a quick second, and then we're going to go into the formatting. So it's all done. So it wasn't initially recognized, and why that is because you're going to have to go in and you're going to have to go into your drive manager. So open up the Windows, then type in disk management, create and format hard drive partitions. So you'll see this come up on the control panel. So again, it's create and format hard disk partitions under disk management. Under your search, you click on that, and then that is going to open up your disk management window, and then it's going to be looking for all your drives listed on your computer. So initially it's saying disk 8 and 9, and it wants to do a partition table on it because it doesn't recognize it, because these are unformatted drives. They're basically right out of the box. So what we can do is we're going to hit cancel for now. So we're going to go down through here and we're going to look for the unpartitioned space. So basically you're looking for disk 8 and 9, which you basically said, and it's going to say unallocated and unallocated. So that means that it hasn't been formatted to your computer yet. Okay, so after we've confirmed in both volumes, so it's disk 8 and disk 9, we're going to actually exit out of disk management, and then we're going to reopen it again. And then again, as soon as we type this, create and format hard drive partitions comes up. So we're going to open that. And then you get the initialized disk. You must initialize a disk before logical disk management can access. So again, 8 and 9, so those are the two drives. So you have a master boot record, and then the default should be the GUID partition table. You're going to click OK on that. And then that is going to configure both drives. And then you go down to, then you're going to scroll down to disk 8 and 9 again. So we right click on it, and you have these new simple volume, new span volume, new stripe volume, new mirrored volume, properties, and help. So you want to go to new simple volume. Welcome to new simple volume wizard. Click next. And then it's basically going to kind of give you some default settings. We're just going to click next because we're not going to do anything. But if you wanted this partition this into two separate drives, you could. So you could actually have like 4 drives in virtual reality sitting on your desk. But we're just going to use the one volume. Assign a drive letter. So here it's kind of defaulting, but you can assign any drive letter that you like at this point. Then format this volume with the settings, and again, use all the defaults, but here we are going to change the volume label. Seagate. And then we're going to call this Seagate 1, so we know it's the first drive. Complete the volume and just hit finish. So it's basically going to format that drive for you, and you have to wait until that's done before we can move on to the second one. So now you have access to your drive, and I'll show you that in a second. And then here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to right click on it, new simple volume, next, and just kind of flow through. It's going to assign, and then we're going to put Seagate 2. And again, we can change that volume later on if you want. And then we'll hit next, finished. And then it's basically going to format that volume for you. And then we have Seagate 1 and 2. And then it opens the file once it recognizes it. So on your desktop, you're going to see Seagate 1, which is right here, and Seagate 2, which is right here. Again, if you're formatting your drives in this respect, but that's why I am switching to this type of system, because I can get quick, easy access to all my data. If either one of these drives fail, I still have the backup copy. Now, how do we make a backup copy, and how do we do an instant sync? So there is a little software program. Let's close these windows. So Disk Magic we're done with, so I'm going to close that window. And let's close this one as well. And I have something called AOMEI BackUpper. So let's open that up. So again, this is AOMEI BackUpper. And I'll show you where to get this, and I'll put this down in the description so you know where you can download this program. And then you have a couple selections. Once it once you've downloaded the program and installed it, you'll have a couple options. And I like doing sync. And then you're going to choose RealTime Sync. And then basically you are going to be adding a folder, what you want to add, and then where to copy it. So to kind of keep this simple. So let's open up my PC. Seagate 1. We're going to go into that. And I'm going to make a folder and called BackUp 1. Okay. And then we'll close this. We'll add folder. And then we are going to look this PC. And then we're going to scroll down to Seagate 1. Seagate 1. Then this is the backup. So anything we put in this folder will be backed up onto the other drive in real time with the software. Okay. So just hit open. So it knows that is going to be your backup folder. So then you go down to here. And then we are going to go to this PC. And we're going to go to Seagate 2. And then that is basically going to be your backup folder. Anything that changes in there. And then we're going to put Start Sync. And then it's going to basically like read into it, see what's there. Okay, so after a couple minutes, it's basically going to say the current operation has to be completed. You hit finish, and then you have the Real Sync is basically in control. So what you do here is you open up your drives again, go to Seagate 1, backup, and there's obviously nothing in that folder. So we'll back out, go to Seagate 2, and then boom, it's got the backup folder there. Again, there's nothing in it. So what we can do is, okay, so if you want to move something over here, like something from your desktop, you move it here, and then just copy here. So we're just going to make a copy of that, and it's just a media player. And then we're going to go back out. Then we're going to go into Seagate 2. And then there's the media player. So basically anything you put in there into Seagate 1 will automatically be copied to Seagate 2. So that way you have basically an easy access RAID right in your desktop that you can access easily from Windows or any other PC. Now, if you wanted to make a network file for these drives, you want to go back out. Now, if I wanted people to have access to this backup folder, or if I wanted to make another folder, so let's go to new folder, and we're going to put in public access. So if that's a folder that I wanted people to have access to on my network, I right click on it, and then you go down to properties, and then it says read only, or you have advanced down here at the bottom. So you can do a couple different things with there, but you're going to look for the sharing tab. So you have general sharing, security, previous versions, customize. Go to sharing, and then public access, and it says not shared. So we're going to look for the share button that's below, and then we're going to share. Choose people to share this with, or you can basically just have it public access, and you just hit share since there's no people on your list. All right, so you scroll down on this list, so you have yourself, you can have everyone, or you can create a new user. You can put everyone, and then you hit share, and then this folder is shared. So now that folder is shared. Now there is a variety of different levels of sharing you can do. So if you wanted to make it like a read-only file, you could go back into properties, sharing, and then advanced sharing, and then that's going to give you some more things to choose from. But if you go down to permissions, you have a quick easy menu here of full control, change, or read. So like now it defaults to allowing people to be able to have full control, change, or read. You can change that to make it a read only, so you could uncheck these, and then you just have it read only, so people will be able to read your files but not able to actually change them on like the public access folder that you just created. Or you can hit allow and then apply, and then that will basically set you up for any changes that you want to make, as far as people like having access to your network. Now, on your network, so right here you're going to have your network path. So it's going to be basically have your network, and then a public access folder. So you can actually copy that network path. So if people are looking to get access, they're able to go in and see that open up and easily access onto your network. So when you go to this PC, you can open that up, and then you can go down to network. And since it's basically already on my network, on my main PC, I'm not going to visibly be able to see that. But if you go to another PC, you'll be able to click on network, and then you'll be able to see that public access folder is now shared. So again, you can set your permissions how you like, but that is your, I guess, quick and easy, like RAID. I'm not going to say it's an actual RAID, but it's basically software based. But I like the fact that now I have access to, a folder or the whole drive, however I want to set those permissions up on my PC. I have direct control of that. People on my network have access to whatever I allow them to have access to. And if anything happens to either one of these drives and I have to reboot up, I do have that ability to do that as well. And one drive dies, I can put another drive in its place, reconfigure the sync software, and I'm back up and running. Again, this also has a clone feature, so if you do have a catastrophic failure of a drive, you can put in an exact same capacity size drive in here. You can make a clone of it, and then you're back up and running in no time. And again, the best fact about this is it puts the power in your hands, where you have easy access to your drives. You have access to all the information on here at any time you want. So even if you had a failure, you don't have to send your hard drive out. You don't have to have somebody come in and take a look at it and try to, decrypt the RAID software on there. You can do it yourself, in just a few minutes and a couple mouse clicks. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for everybody. A little bit of a process, but it is really super easy. And if you run into a situation like Western Digital had, where you couldn't get access to your drive for like a week, I know that drove me crazy. This puts the power back into your hands and the ability to be able to take care of it yourself. Anyway, any questions, please leave down in the comments. I'm here to help. Thanks for watching, and be safe out there. Brian from Garage Mahal.